Hello there. Welcome to another tutorial in the 24-hour, 24-day image creation marathon. This is image number 3, and it's all brought to you by my company, Instagraphics, where I teach you to create standout images quickly and easily on your iPhone, iPad, or computer. The images in this marathon I pretty much created just with an iPhone, but you could really do it on your iPad as well. Most of these apps work on the iPad. I am your host, Grace Taylor Siegel, and I want to thank you for being here. I know you're very busy, we all are, and I'm honored that you've taken a few minutes to spend with me today to learn this app. I will do it my very best. I'll do my very best to make it time well spent. So let's get creative and take a look at Moldiv. This is the image that I created with the app. There are a lot of these framing apps around. This one has a few unusual qualities that I really like. This little fellow in the picture is my cat Winston, and he fell in love with that blanket. We put it down for our dogs, and he's pretty much taken it over, so I had to get a few shots of that. Now here's the app opening, and all of the apps that I'm demonstrating are for the iPhone. I just want to mention that. Most are for the iPad also, and they're all available in the App Store. I will incorporate information for Android users at some point in the future, but for now I'm focusing on the apps and programs for the Apple devices. Now, before we get started with the demo, I want to remind you that because of the way that I'm recording these videos, you can't see my fingers on the iPhone screen. You can only see the actions that occur as a result of my manipulating the screen and the app with my fingers. Now I'm going to add some callouts to the final video, the one you're watching now. And a callout, it's like a pointer on the screen to show you what I'm touching, and I'll also try to carefully explain what I'm doing. But please keep in mind that it's my fingers touching the screen of the phone that makes everything that you're seeing in the video happen. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to recreate the image that I created for the marathon. So I chose among the many frames here this sort of cockeyed 3-part deal there that appealed to me. Now, before we get into it, I look at all these. On and on and on. And shapes. Oh my goodness. Just everything you could possibly. Bursts. This is almost, it's like a stencil. You name it, they've got it in here. All right, so let's go back to the beginning and let's get my frame. All right, so I selected the frame by just touching on the one that I wanted, and now you can see where it says tap here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap right there with my finger, and I get to choose. I could open my camera and take some pictures right now and they would pop in, but I'm going to go to the gallery because I want to put the photos in that I used previously of the cat. Now, you can choose all 3 at once. And why not? Save some time. I press the check mark. It's popping all my photos in. Now, you may want to adjust, I want to adjust the photograph. So I'm putting 2 of my fingers on the photo, spreading them apart to zoom out and make the photo larger. You can do the same thing by squeezing your fingers together, pinching, and make the photo smaller. Now, it's not going to stay because it has to be at least a certain size to be in this frame. Here we go. Oops. So you don't really have to, you tap it the first time and then you just squeeze out or in. So there we have him, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now, You can adjust the frame, and it's quite amazing all the things that you can do. It's sliders, and so I'm sliding the top slider, which changes the shape of the frame considerably. Now I am changing the roundness, which is the second slider on the right. You can see me sliding it back and forth. And that changes the, the roundness of the inside area of the frames. This gives you a shadow, and you can barely see it. See how it goes gray in the white area? Yeah, I don't think I need that. And then here's this one, which is the second one on the right. You see it just enlarges the frame, the outside frame area, and leaves the inside frame area, those lines that are dividing the photos into the 3 photos. It leaves those alone. So this, however, changes everything proportionally. So you can go down to nothing, although you still have some on the edges. And I'm gonna enlarge this just a little bit. All right, that's good. And then just touch the screen, the black area underneath the photo, and it's gonna take you back home where your workspace is for this particular image. Now we're gonna do the background. So on the bottom right, in the black, just touch background, and you're gonna be given quite a few options here. You can go on the color wheel or the color spread and choose different solid colors. There's black and white. You can slide if you want. You want a little gray. You can put a photo in the background, which I don't really want to do. And then they have all of these pretty colored backgrounds. I used this pastel stripe, which I like very much. You can also go over here, look, they have little patterns. And if you used a pattern like that, depending on which one, you might want to make your frame a little wider so that it shows up a little bit more. Now, oh, that's kind of cute. Now, this gift box looking icon in the lower left hand corner, that is the premium backgrounds. And see how it said premium 8, premium. You'd have to buy those. There's a Halloween, and I'm sure that it's most likely it's in a pack. And actually, yeah, there are in-app purchases for this. It's free. This is a free app, so it does most of this this image manipulation, for free. But if you want these special little holiday backgrounds, you'll have to buy a pack, and they're like 99 cents. I don't need that because I'm perfectly happy with my pastel stripes. So let's stick with that. Now I'm just going to touch that black part right underneath the photo to go back to the main screen. And I want to show you another. This is, now you could put a word on there. You can see the T in the center of the bottom menu. I didn't put any, I didn't put any text on this image, but that's where you would go to do that, is just go in there and then you'd touch the screen and the option to put text would pop up, and then there are fonts and colors and that kind of thing. Let's just do it real quick so you can see. So let's go back. You touch the orange T at the bottom center, and then you touch the white T on the black bar. And you see, when you do that, the icon comes up. And we'll just type Winston's name. And this is where you choose the fonts. This is where you choose the colors. this is just different representations, different options. Some have the, see how that's really cute with the, it's got a main color and then it's got a white border and then it has a black border. It looks like, maybe it's just white with a shadow. I really like that. You know what? I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that to my image. Now, what this does is it puts a little background on the text. I'm not a big fan of that, but it could come in handy, you know, if you really wanted your text to pop out of the photo. But I'm happy with this, and so I'm going to touch the image, and I would like to make this a little smaller. And how I do that, just so you know. Well, right here is where you make the letters further apart or closer together. And I think that looks good. And I'm going to say OK. And here we go. Once you say OK, you're going to get your box that allows you to make the letters smaller or larger by pinching with your fingers or spreading your fingers apart to zoom. See, that's what I'm doing. I moved it over with my fingers and then I spread it out a bit so that it would be just the right size. All right, so that's how you put text on your image. Now let's put a stamp. So you go into the bottom area, the white area with the black star, and you touch that black star, and then you touch the white star that's on the bar right above it, and a black bar with a white star. You choose that, and these just delightful little stickers pop up. I just love these things. Look, there's a donut with sprinkles. Adorable. Now, this is the one that I chose, and I just think it's just so cute. I moved it just the tiniest bit. I don't want it to cover his face. So that's pretty much it. If you decide that you don't like one of the elements, like I'm in here, I've chosen this. No, I don't want to have those flowers there. Then you see that trash can on the black bar toward the bottom on the right? You just press that and boom, goodbye flowers. So I'm going to go back in by pressing the star. I'm going to choose the flowers again because I like them. I'm going to move them down by touching and just pulling down with my finger, just sliding down on the screen. And I like this. I'm happy. So I'm going to save it by pressing right here on the white bar at the bottom on the far right. There's a little square with an arrow. You press that and you've got all your options. Camera roll, which as I've said in previous videos, I always save to the camera roll so I have my image and I don't have to worry about losing track of it. You could send it to other apps. There are a lot of different apps. My 24 is just a drop in the bucket, and they all manipulate images in different ways. So you could send it to an app and put some special filter that you like. It's a great way to brand by choosing certain fonts that you always use, certain filters that you always use. So that would be a reason to send it to another app. And then, of course, you've got all of your social media beneath there that you can send it directly to one of those. But I'm going to save it to my camera roll. Now, you've got some options here. You don't always have options in these apps. This gives you the option of standard, medium, and maximum. Standard is a relatively small image for the web or an email. Medium is a larger image for either of those. And then maximum is for if you want to print it out or have a very large image that would fill the screen and look very sharp, you would choose maximum. But as you can see, it's pretty large. But it's nice to have those options for resolution. So I'm going to choose standard, and it's going to save to my camera roll. So you might want to, if you get this app, and you should, it's free, you might want to play around with a lot of different frames and photos and effects. You really could spend a lot of time in here, but there is one other thing I would like to show you before we close. And you see this scroll at the bottom of the app? Well, there are two parts to this app. The first part is the framing and the collages. The second part is a magazine feature. Never seen this before. Now, if you select these, it's going to change to the magazine mode, and you're going to get, an array, a gallery of these magazine pages that are available to you. Now, the thing that confused me about this is, all right, you select this and you'll see there's, just like in the framing part of the app, you go and you choose your photos. The boxes are blank. So I'm going to choose, gosh, maybe if I go in my Dropbox, there's some different photos here. Alrighty, so it's going to pop those in. I didn't pay any attention to how many boxes there were, but now this really doesn't work too well, I don't think. So I'm going to hit, remember the X box in the top left-hand corner. I'm going to try that. That's going to switch them around a bit. Now see, it changes the layout, so keep that in mind. It's not just going to switch your photos around. It's going to switch the whole thing around and give you a lot of different options. But eventually, if you don't find something you like better, I think it's going to bring us back to where we were originally. And if it doesn't, it's because those photos don't quite fit. That may be the case, but look, this looks good too. Now, you would think, wouldn't you, this is what I thought, that center text would be editable so that you could change it to say happy birthday or you're beautiful or whatever. You can't change that. It's permanent. And on each and every one of these magazine pages, to one extent or another, there is some copy like this that can't be changed. So in some cases, it's something like this that's just so general and, no problem. Other cases, I didn't really like it that much. I didn't really like the stuff that's on the page. Now, there's a way to make it more, well, there's a way to customize it, and I will do a bonus video on that. So once we get through the marathon, I'm going to do some bonus videos, about 20 of them, and check back in with me because I'm going to show you how to get rid of that and put in the copy that you want. But inside this app, you're stuck with that, but I think it looks very nice. And as you can see on the bottom row, you have those same options available to you. You can put in your own text in different areas. So you could put a little extra text on that white box. You could put a little extra text on the photos, on top of those photos. You just can't change that text that says today is a good day. You can't change that inside the app. You can also add stickers. That's what that little star means. But let's save this. I really like this. So I'm going to save it to my camera roll. And I'm going to save it medium because it's a larger page. It can be small, but it can also be 8.5 by 11, I believe. So, it's just a really nice thing to have. That, my friends, is Moldiv. And hopefully you learn how to get around a little bit and use it for yourself. Like I said, it's free. You can make some amazing images in here for Instagram or Facebook or any social media. And remember, on my website, on the page for Moldiv, there's a free PDF download for all of the apps that has all the details. You just visit instagraphics.biz. They're there. Go into the marathon. There's a menu at the top of the site on the right, and go into the marathon. All the images and all the details are in there, as well as links to the other video tutorials. Please join my Facebook group too. The link to join is on the marathon page, and I go in there and answer questions and talk about images and the apps and how to create them, and like I said, answer any questions. Sign up for my email. It's at the top page of any page. It's at the top of any page of my website, and I'll send you an email with links to all of the different pages for the marathon and all the details. I also want to mention I'm going to be running a contest with every app in the marathon as the prize. I'm going to be announcing the details of that very soon, so sign up somewhere so you don't miss out on that. Well, thanks again for being here. I've loved showing you around this app. Remember, it's called Moldiv, and it's free in the Apple App Store. Now, I will see you tomorrow for image number 4, and that's going to be Rana Designs. So, see you again soon. Have a great day.